What's going on, everybody? Canuck here, and welcome to another Vancouver Mounties Out of the Park Baseball 24 episode. And we are continuing on to the off season. As you can see, I've simmed ahead a little bit. I'm on December 7th right now. It's been a busy off season. Not too much has happened, though. A lot of trade offers that I've been looking at, and some are intriguing, some aren't. And we're kind of seeing kind of what we need. But in terms of kind of where we left off last time, we did make a couple decent size offers to some free agents. One was Trevor Pinkson. He is now a reliever in our system, and we'll just throw him on the active roster right away. And really the big guy that we're after is Ivan Casanova, who I thought maybe we had locked up. I was going to be a little bit surprised if we had him locked up this early, but he has demanded some more money. So we have made him another demand. So I'm hopefully that will shrug off some other teams. But just with how much money teams have now, as teams finally do have some cash to splash a little bit, I don't think the race for Casanova is quite done yet. So just to recap kind of where we are free agency wise. So we're up to like an 8-year, $104 million deal for Casanova, which is substantial. We still do have a little bit of money to play with for free agency. We don't want to spend it all, but we got a couple guys here. Pt.2, he was the guy that didn't play at all last year because no one had the money to sign him. But I'm hoping he could be a DH for us, and he's favoring our offer right now, as well as Enrique Martinez. I can't even remember why we signed him. I think we just needed kind of a depth pitcher. So I think what we're going to do is I'll kind of sim ahead. We're at winter meetings, so I have set the ticket prices to be around kind of $24. We'll see, just kind of based on other teams. I kind of looked, and that seemed to kind of be the number, roughly. I'm just actually kind of looking at scouting and development budgets. Just want to see where we're sitting compared to other teams. We're in pretty good shape, so not worrying too much there. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to edit this episode a little bit because there's a lot of offers that are getting made here in the off season. It's a very active season, and I will just kind of stop whenever we see something that might be potentially tantalizing. So I will see you here shortly. All right, so we're back here, and I am just kind of shopping through the relievers here in free agency, and one guy did catch my eye, and it's Bud Pike. Bud Pike has jumped around the last few years. He went from Cape Breton to Medicine Hat, spent all of last year in Ottawa. But what intrigued me here was he was an absolute workhorse there. He stood 84 games, 79 innings. So he pitched, relatively small outings in each, but he was pretty solid. The fact that he started in 84 games, he's got that Ironman injury proneness. He'd be a solid kind of mid-reliever guy. He's kind of a perfect mid-reliever guy, I think. Yeah, I like that. He actually is from the town I was born in, believe it or not. That's where I was born. Wild. Small little town in the Kootenay region of BC. Crazy. Wow, it's meant to be. We're going to offer him a contract. He wants 1.5 just for a year. I mean, this is a pretty low risk move. We'll knock it down maybe 300K, see what he says. Okay, we'll knock it down 200. Like that, we'll knock it down 100. Okay, he's okay with that. So we'll submit that offer, and we'll see what Bud Pike says later in the off season. And here we go, everybody. Here we go. It has happened. I thought we'd get a little bit more of a fight back from the AI, but Ivan Casanova is a Vancouver Mountie. I get to say Ivan Casanova. I love it. probably, well, not probably, easily the best pitcher in free agency, and we have him locked down, and we have him locked down for a while. So here is the deal. It is a substantial one, but I mean, I don't see him regressing anytime soon. He has been absolutely outstanding, despite, last year he played on. Actually, he split time between Oshawa and Quebec City. He was not great in Quebec City, but he was very, very good in Oshawa, where he spent most of his time. So I'm hoping he brings that Oshawa skill and not the Quebec City skill to the Vancouver Mounties. So yeah, this is a huge contract. This easily puts him, he's a captain, leader, work ethic, intelligence, everything we want. 70, 80 guy. His stuff can still potentially move out. He's got that extreme ground ball. He's got 4 really solid pitches. I love it. So Casanova should be able to provide ace level production with a solid defense behind him. That we need to work on. But Casanova is in, and he is one of the highest paid players now in the CBL. So that's okay. We have to splash a little cash here if we want to compete with teams like Edmonton and Calgary. We just have to. So Casanova is in. Let's just kind of see what things are looking like now. So we go bullpen. Let's go for everything here. So there's Casanova setting in there. So yeah, that I think will be our starting 5 pitchers, which for the most part I'm fairly happy with for now. I mean, we could obviously spend some more, but I don't really want to. As again, I'm kind of looking into the future a little bit. We don't want to lock up too many players to big deals. We already kind of did lock in Bulger just because I was so impressed with how he was in the playoffs there. So we gave some cash to George. We've now given some cash to Casanova. Mills is reaching the end of his deal this year, so we have to look at, hey, do we need to re-sign him? Fred Mills is going to want a lot of money. He's also 31. So we don't have to make a decision on Mills yet. But do we try to work out a deal with him now, or if he has a really, really good season? I'm also worried just about how everything works with the financials right now. Is like, do we do it now? Do we wait a year? I mean, 14 million is a big amount of money. How much does he? I mean, he's not getting that from us straight up. But we don't even have that money for an extension if we need it. Yeah, so I don't even know if he would take 12, but something like that. But that's a lot of money, and he is 31 already. So I don't think I'm going to make that move right now. So Mike Pottle entering arbitration. So if we want to keep him, he's young, solid right fielder. We're going to have to pay him down the line if we want to keep him. Bruno Hamry's nearing the end of his contract. So, with these lower offers from the earlier financial model, not a lot of money is going to come off. So we definitely got to save up for the future. So as tempting as it is to finally spend some money, we don't want to spend it all. And we're already doing a pretty good job. We now have the 3rd highest payroll in the league, but I don't think I want to go about spending any more money right now. Because we want to be careful. So, am I open to a trade? Very much so. Like as we look down our starting 9 that are kind of projected to start the 2008 season. Wow, we're in 2008 already. I am pretty happy with it. We're still waiting on a couple of pieces. So, that money is we're still waiting on Half Yard. If we get those guys, if we can get Half Yard here, at a pretty nice offer there, 2 years, $12 million. And if we could get another, guy in Bud Pike, who also favors the offer, 1-year deal, those are some nice little low risk deals that I think will really help the team. So, People are absolutely loving that Ivan Casanova is a Vancouver Mountie, so that will increase the fan interest. How much did it increase it by? Moves it up to 88. We love that. We love that. All right, so let's keep going, and we'll stop again if anything else interesting happens. All right, so we have moved it up again a few days, and more good news on the Vancouver Mounties contract signing side of things. As Enrique Martinez, kind of our depth starting pitcher there, he is signed. But the big one is Pete Halfyard. He is going to be a little rusty again. Took a year off because no one could sign him. But he's in. He will most likely slot into that DH role. And we may have to move some people around here because now there might be, because our DH right now, Troy Murray, you know, who's I think we still need to keep around as a good bench guy. But yeah, he's definitely gonna probably not be super happy that his role will be diminished quite a bit. But hey, sorry, such is life here in the CBL. We get better people, they're coming in. So Martinez comes in, Halfyard comes in. Just kind of want to see how the AI sets this lineup up here. I don't know if Martinez. Well, actually, they got him in as a solid reliever. I don't think he'll be a reliever though. Actually, he only has 35 stamina. I'm gonna wonder why I actually signed him. I think we're going to have a very, very, very improved bullpen. And lineups, they're actually putting Pete Halfyard at third, which I'm surprised about. Does that mean Doug Reeder is going to be DH? He's 45. Halfyard is actually a slightly better third baseman. Okay, so Pete is going to play. Okay with this. I would like to get Doug Reeder. Well, yeah, no, that's okay too. I'm okay with him DHing this year. This is starting to turn into a nice little lineup here. So we got Halfyard, we got Mills. You know, one more big piece would be great, but I'm pretty happy with the turnover here. I think we're still waiting on Ike, who favors the offer here. That'll probably be it for our shopping once we get him signed. So let's just check in this trade proposal here. Henry getting a lot of interest, but they're kind of looking for relievers. So I think I've kind of done my trading reputation is not great. Is this just because I wonder why my trading reputation is so bad. I haven't really made a ton of trades, but I'm going to delete that. I don't really need a starting pitcher really either. I don't really have anyone on my shopping list unless someone makes me an interesting offer. I'm going to have to watch the trading reputation because I'm not sure what really affects that. I haven't really turned down too many deals or... Anyway, whatever. Okay, so let's move it forward again. All right, so just an update here as we are on New Year's Eve here, 2007. Bud Pike has said he likes Cape Breton a little better, and I'm kind of 1.6, and then I'm thinking, do I need someone like Bud Pike? Just looking at my staff, I mean, I am pretty happy with my relievers here right now. Could they be better? Of course. But with what I have right now, I think I'm pretty set. Just more looking like AAA. Pitching is terrible in AAA. Like Langley is a mess. We don't have really much of anyone in the starting pitching role, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's fine. No big deal. I think we're just going to kind of end the negotiations with Bud Pike. I'm not really interested in raising that up anymore. Okay, we are back again. It is January 15th, international free agent signing. So I have been running a few practices. There's some juicy looking international free agents, young guys anyway. So, well, very young guys. So we'll see if we can allure one, maybe two of them over to the Mounties as we're trying to stock up as many prospects as we can. One thing I was wondering about the trade reputation, I looked it up. I don't know if it's a bug still or not, if they haven't fixed it, but apparently if I just keep rejecting trades like this, apparently it's lowering it. So maybe it's better just to straight up not even touch, just ignore them. It seems to be making things a bit better. At least I hope so. But yeah, our trade reputation's not great. We might have to just like turn that off. Okay, so international amateurs, let's take a look. So each team has quite a bit available, and the demand is not a huge amount. So it may be a bit of a. Oh, actually, that's just pitchers. That's why. There we go. Yeah, well, it's interesting that some of these guys aren't asking for much, especially some of these top guys. So, you know, Tochichiro Kamada, absolute potential power guy. Randolph Klein, the New Zealander. Wow. He may be a guy we put an offer in. This catcher also look Big Pitch. Name is Big Pitch. I mean, we could afford to throw in deals for a couple guys for sure. How many we'll actually get, if any, is the other question. Okay. Well, I definitely want to offer Randolph Klein a deal. He's saying 1.2. Yeah, that lands up with his. So I will meet his demand at 1.2. And I could always use a good catcher. So I think we'll also offer this to Yoshimichi. We'll call him Yoshi. And always good to have a decent pitching prospect, which we seem to be lacking. Hector. Decent. Kind of like Jose, maybe a little bit better. Hector's actually a little bit better, and he's much cheaper, so we're going to offer him a contract as well. Okay, so we'll see what happens. So we've got a couple. Oh, wait, where's thought we looked at the catcher as well. This guy. Oh, we did. Okay. Just wondering why it wasn't showing up. All right, there's no Hall of Fame. Oh. Yeah, meet demand. Ask for a response, submit. There we go. Okay. That's better. That's better. All right, so we'll see if any of these guys sign, and I will let you guys know if it happens. All right, so we did. Randall Klein got back to us pretty quickly, and he said we're not offering him enough. So we have bumped his offer up to 1.9. Yoshi is relatively happy with our deal. Let's just move it up a little bit here and see if we get anything. Okay, Randolph likes the offer. Halifax is competing with us here. And, ooh, okay, so we're going to have to up a couple of these deals. 1.2, we're just, we have this left in the budget, so we're going to just kind of keep meeting demands, see if this can actually happen. We'll do the same with Hector. Celestials are fighting with us here. Give him a little bit more. We'll go like 440. Submit the offer there. See what happens. Move ahead a bit. Trade proposal from Oshawa. Nope, don't like that, so we'll just ignore it. Moose Jaw now in the mix here for Yoshi. Wow, he jumped way up. So he may be a little out of our range. That's okay. I mean, we knew we were probably only going to get one of these guys anyway. Has there been any signings? There have been. You guys have signed already, so Halifax has gotten a couple. Oh, Halifax going a little crazy there. Okay. Move up a little more. Hector likes Quebec's offer. Oh my goodness. Randolph, we're up to 3.2. He's our number one offer here. 3.28. Here, how about 3.38? Okay, so we still have enough to make a move here. Yeah, so okay, Hector's off the table. We're gonna focus on Randolph Klein here. See if we can get him. See if we can get him here. Oshawa. Yeah, we're not really searching out any deals right now. Okay, so Randolph likes our deal now. Another trade proposal. They're really looking at Lions. Couple terrible release. Oh, I actually not going to reject the trade. Okay, move ahead another week. Thunder Bay. Again, nothing really needed there. Oop, forgetting I don't have to. Okay, Randolph Klein is there. Beautiful. Okay, so that is an amateur locked up. We have a little bit. Oh, no, we don't. We only have 292,000 left, so that was easily the biggest signing there, so no one really going after this guy. That's surprising. You guys just kind of left there on the... What's going on here? Oh, he's up to 2 million, but no one seems to be going after Koichiro Kamada. No one's really offered him anything, it looks like. Okay, well, we've used 92% of our cap, so that's probably enough. Probably enough. All right, so there's just a lot of these kind of junky deals here. An interesting package. Ooh, if it weren't for that guy, I would almost taken it, but Victor Deloria. Looks like he's actually pretty solid. Let's see. Ben Loveless, who looks a little bit more ready to go. Jack McGregor. Eh. Oh. Carlos Maldonado. Yeah, just a lot of... For Fimbres, who's been a solid pitcher, so he's really the only major league guy in this deal, so we're not going to bother. Yoshi signs with Medicine Hat. Hector signs with St. John's. That's okay. They're really trying to... Oh, no, that's the same offer. Enrique, what are you even doing? How are you injured? Oh, this is where some weird injury? Yeah. What did he do? Fishing. Attempting to haul in a large fish and suffered forearm tendonitis. Come on, Enrique. All right, fine. Okay, so we're getting into the preseason. Now, what I wanted to do is look at the schedule because there was no interleague play happening, and I'm just wondering if this the change gets made. I'm turning off balance schedule, and I'm turning on interleague play. Yeah, I think the schedule gets generated during the preseason. So, okay. Go to the preseason. There we go. Financial update. Oh, he's even given us another $100 million. Or no, not another $100 million, another $10 million. Well, that's nice of you, Alvin. Showing us a little money. We have the second biggest payroll in the league with the 7th highest budget, so we've spent a lot here. Our fan interest is now at 100. Because I'm pretty happy with the moves that we've made here. Okay, so let's just check in on the schedule and see if it's been generated. It has. Just want to see if there's any interleague going on here. There still is not any interleague matchups. I'm not sure why that's the case. Because I would like to see some interleague play here. Maybe it's just because the amount of teams are too small. Interleague play is on. If I generate fictional schedule, let's see if that did anything. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, that did seem to do something, as we now have some interleague play going on here. As long as it's like one series against each team, that would be great. Looks like there's kind of 2 interleague series back to back each time, which is fine. It's a little kind of any more? Yeah, here's Ottawa, Toronto. And okay, so it looks like we only get to play against one of the divisions. That's okay. At least there's a little bit of interleague play, and that's all I wanted. So good, we're good there. So preseason is upon us. Again, another little check of the team. I'm excited here. I'm very excited about the team. So, in terms of salaries, I mean, I kind of like where we're sitting. We got a couple big deals, but no one's really extended too far. Laviolette was a good little signing before we cranked everything up. But yeah, there's going to be some decisions that are going to need to be made because a lot of guys are nearing the ends of contracts or heading to arbitration next year. The main guy that's going to need attention is going to be Fred. We have money now to extend him if we need to. He's looking for a 7-year deal. It's not an awful deal, but I'm curious now. I want to bring up a financial log here, or financial report. Who are now the highest paid players? So right now, payroll, Calgary's running away with it. They're like the Yankees of the CBL here. We're not too far behind, but again, there's some real small market teams here. Toronto only at 29 million. What is going on here? They're not spending any money, or they don't have much of a budget. Wow, Toronto, small market team. Okay. Now these guys are really low, but I mean, we have to keep up here because we've got Calgary is 1, Edmonton is 4. We're 2. So, I mean, this is going to be another dangerous division as we're just trying to keep up here. It's Calgary, Edmonton, Calgary, Edmonton. Good thing we beat Calgary and Edmonton this year. So the highest paid player is Paul Wiseman, as expected. He signed this huge deal even before the new finances kind of kicked in. Just wondering what his contract is. Oh, yeah, he goes up to 18 mil. That's just an insane deal that they made. But, I mean, he's the best player in the league, so I get it. And then we've got, few pretty high-paid guys up here. We got a few guys that have now broken the $10 million mark. There's Ivan Casanova right there. Yeah, so Calgary is the big market team, and Edmonton. So it's going to be an absolute dogfight again in this division. So I'm okay with that. I'm very excited to see how Ivan Casanova plays. So let's get her to spring training. And we'll see what happens. Still some trade proposals. Bud Pike, of course, Bud Pike goes to Calgary. How much money does this team have? How much money do the Bone Pilers have? I have to see just where this is coming from. They have an $130 million budget. Wow, we only have 100. So, yeah, they're, what's their owner like? He's a penny pincher. How is this even possible? Anyway, whatever. Take a look at their books here. Interesting. They got a lot of guys on the books, too. Not for anything huge, actually. They got a few guys locked up on very friendly deals. Oh, this team is going to be dangerous for a few years, so Calgary is going to be tough to beat. Calgary is going to be very, very, very tough to beat. Interesting. Okay. All right, well, I was just curious. Okay. So we will move ahead to spring training. Okay, before we start the preseason, I was just checking out our positional rankings to kind of see where we stack up, both as in the CBL as well as the organization too. So some interesting numbers here I've found. So in terms of kind of just individual, looks like, Peyton is kind of a middle of the road catcher. Fred Mills, second best first baseman in the league. Manny, again, is a mid-level second baseman. Pete Halfyard, who we added, kind of rank him as the third best third baseman. Big issue, again, is at shortstop with Pablo Vasquez. He actually did drop in the last player development update. I'm a little worried that that McPherson trade might not have been a good idea, but we'll see how it turns out. Mike Cross, he's top 10 left fielder. Bulger's a top 5 center fielder. Pottle's kind of mid-pack in the right field. There's Ivan Casanova, currently top-ranked pitcher in the league. Matsumoto, 6th best reliever. And then Lyons is a decent closer. What is a little bit of scariness here? Casanova first, but if you look over at what we got for prospects, we're almost dead last in starting pitching prospects. So that is going to be something we really need to look at for this year's draft, because we don't have any pitchers right now at all. So, we've got pretty solid almost everywhere else. But yeah, that's not good. So anyway, just was kind of curious with that. So let's get it to spring training here. There we go. So players promoted to the international complex. This guy, he's a top 10 prospect in the league now. So we will see how he does in Laval. The draft lottery. Let's see what happened here. Halifax gets the first pick. Wow. Hold on a second. Where is the draft order? What happened in this draft lottery? Moose Jaw got absolutely hosed here. Worst record, and they pick 7th. They go all the way down. Halifax moves up 2 to pick 3rd. Medicine Hat moves up 4. North Battleford draws. Manitoba coming from 12th all the way to a top 5 pick. Oh, wow. Moose Jaw gets absolutely screwed there. So, bummer. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay, spring training. Let's just set up the lineups here. We've got a few. Looking at, are there any interesting prospects that are going to have a go that might crack the team? Probably not. We got a lot of 40 overall guys that, may look at cracking a bench role, but I don't. I think the lineup we had in the off season is probably going to be the lineup for this year. I mean, yeah, I'm not overly most of our guys are still quite a ways away. Playing in double A, single A. Yeah, it's still yeah, we got freaking 17-year-olds that are really our kind of top prospects. So, yeah, Langdon's too young. You know, we got some 20, 21-year-olds, but they're not really going to do much in camp. So, um, we just kind of got to go through and make sure no one gets hurt. That's really we're going in with a very thin. Oh my word. That just shows how little we have pitching. Look how many relievers Calgary's bringing to camp. And look how many we have. What? Is this all we have? We got to go sign some frickin' relievers. We got a little cash. Is there anyone out here? Oh, wow. Looks like the free agents kind of got picked through. There are a couple interesting players here, but we need pitching. We need pitching. We have Sal Gonzalez, who's wrecked. I mean, I'm going to actually sign a couple of these older guys. Because we clearly need some pitching. Prefer some younger guys, but you know, I'm going to offer some minor league contracts here. Just to maybe build up the... I'm not even looking, I'm just signing guys. There we go. Just to help build the needs a little bit. Okay. Looks like we signed a few guys. Okay, let's just kind of switch up the lineups here. Does that increase the pitching? Not really. Okay, we just got to make sure no one gets injured here. Again, we could be managing a little bit better in terms of spring training, but we seem to be doing okay so far. Couple weeks in. Okay. Another week done. And kind of letting the AI do this. We might make the final cut as we move all the way up to opening day here almost. Player development update. Just keep seeing bone pilers everywhere. Okay, Willie gets a nice little bump. Patterson gets a nice little bump. Enrique gets a nice little bump. Ivan becomes an 80-80 pitcher. Gonzalez, fine. Doug Reeder with a... Ooh, that's not a good drop. Josiah James. This is one guy I'd like him to see if he can come up, but his potential is dropping too. Big drops, big drops. Pilkington, we need him to start getting better soon. Okay. All right. As we make our way through here. Oh my god, Edmonton's 19-5 in spring training. Yikes. And Immuno's 422 in spring training. There we go. Okay. Season is about to begin here. Top prospects report. A lot of them in the Maritimes, it looks like. Top minor league systems. Where are we currently ranked? We're currently ranked 6th. I'm okay with that. Unfortunately, it's a lot of guys that aren't really close. But that's okay. That is okay. All right, so luckily we got through without any injury. So we're going to look at making some cuts, obviously. And we're not going to be making too many pitching cuts. Really, John Lowry can go back to Langley. Going to a 5-man rotation. And yeah, we'll go 8 pitchers. That will essentially be our pitching staff. So yeah, we didn't have really any pitchers to bring to spring training. So I'm hoping they're not exhausted here. I hope Casanova gets the start in game 1. Now, we do have to make some cuts here. All right, so we'll start with some obvious ones. Kind of make our way down here. I don't even know who Eob Nabi is. He's kind of been toiling away in AAA. He's Zambian. Interesting. Well, you're heading back down to Langley. Sorry. Josiah James, I just kind of curious how he performed. Where's his spring training stats? Oh, you can do this. What? Did you just not play at all? Oh, here we go. Not very much data. So you're going to head back down to AAA. Jeremy Howes, I don't know who you are. Bye-bye. Gonzalez, you're still young and developing. Sean Cuff, he's seen no, he hasn't seen any action yet, but again, he is a shortstop I really want. We got him in a trade. A shortstop I would like to see developed. I don't really want to rush him. No, actually, let's just take a look. Didn't do much. Okay. Brian Cardinal. Got a little pop, doesn't he? And another just kind of meh guy. Okay, so now we got to really start deciding here in terms of, like, we need catchers here. So Peyton. How many catchers we got? We only have 2 catchers right now. So it'll be Peyton and Pete are going to be going at it there. Al Caballero. This guy is very interesting. I don't even know where I got him from. He was a 7th round draft pick. Actually, he has progressed quite nicely, actually. His overall is shot right up. It's kind of in line with his potential, so I'm not sure if he's going to get... But he may be a guy that might hold down a bench job here, because he's got a lot of the nice stuff we want. He's got a cannon in the outfield. He can play any outfield position. He's got the speed, so he'd be an ideal pinch runner. He hit pretty good in spring training, too. I think you've earned your spot there, Mr. Caballero. So you're in. Danny, kind of the same stuff. He was also good in spring training. Okay, so we're gonna have to make a decision there. Ryan Sharkey, again, another... Okay, so some of these guys have been moving up here. How did Sharkey do? Also, he hit 300. This is becoming difficult. Well, we need some infielders. Ori Junker. He played a few games for us last year, I remember. Oh my god, he couldn't hit the ball at all. So, sorry. Going down. Just trying to get the easy ones out of the way. Jonathan Johnson. Okay. Jonathan. How did Jonathan hit here? He had 5 plate appearances. That's not enough. Okay, so we got to cut 5 more guys. I think Zepeda. Yeah, he was good. So he'll probably hold down a bench spot. Need some guys that can play a few more infield positions. I don't have a lot of infield guys. Well, you know what? Just for speed's sake, we're going to get the AI to set this up because I am curious on what they're doing here. I am curious. I think they kept it pretty similar. So yeah, you can see our starting lineup's kind of the starting lineup we predicted back in December. Nothing big there. Ford Keats, Pete Lee. Oh, wow. Sloan was the best of them all. Didn't even see him. Okay. I mean, we've got some decent hitters down in AAA. I mean, they perform pretty well in spring training. Okay. So we got all the positions filled. That is essentially our lineup here. So let's check in preseason predictions. This will be interesting. And yet again, they have us in a dogfight with Edmonton. It's going to be a three-way fight. We're probably, again, looking ahead at one of those wildcard spots. Yellowknife looks to be the team to beat in the weaker, much weaker Prairie Division. Regina got it last year, but looks like Yellowknife stocked up at the deadline. But yeah, a lot of kind of just real middling teams in the Prairie Division. So we'll keep an eye. Windsor looks to be, again, running away with a rather weak Metropolitan Division. So they look to be pretty set there. Oshawa is really fallen apart. Montreal and Toronto, big cities, you'd think they'd do something. We're in year 4. Haven't seen them do anything. And it looks very close in the Atlantic. Fredericton, defending champion Cape Breton Admirals, and Charlottetown in the mix too. So that's going to be a very interesting division to watch. And yeah, just some amazing looking. Ooh, Roberto Castillo. Who are you? Ooh, that's okay. It's going to be Castillo versus Casanova here. How big was their contract? Oh, he's a bit cheaper. I mean, he's older, but he's a little bit cheaper. Interesting. Should have looked at getting him. Anyway, who cares? We're riding Casanova. We are riding Casanova. Waiver wire. Anyone interesting on the waiver wire? Lots of guys on the waiver wire. Potentially. Potentially some relievers here. Just taking a look. Don Halter is interesting guy. Just looking at my. He's actually on a multi-year deal. 3 years. Ooh, interesting. Not sure if I want to lock into a 3-year deal. Been okay. Hasn't been great. I'm just kind of looking at the anemic pitching in AAA and just wondering if there's something I can do there, but no, I think we're gonna be okay. All right, so to kind of finish this episode off, I'm just going to kind of redo my top prospects list. Jake Wareham is going to start at catcher for AAA, so he's making his way up. He is not really impressed in his 2 years so far. He's made his way up, but he's been kind of His hitting's been okay. So we're going to really keep an eye on Jack. Pilkington, again, looks to be a really good pitching prospect. We don't have many of those, so I am desperate. He had an 8 ERA last year, so he's getting another run at AAA. A year older, a year wiser, I'm hoping, but he's still only 20 overall. I'm a little worried about. Charles Auger. He's actually a guy I'm wondering, why are you in AA? He's a guy that looks almost ready to go. He can't do anything. He may be some like potential trade bait. In fact, I am actually going to just like throw him on the block right off the bat, because he could be someone interesting I could move. Okay, Josiah James has kind of fallen down a little bit. He was good in Langley, but like we're starting him in AAA. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And then there's not too much here. We'll add you, obviously, to top prospects, Omar. And these guys as well. Okay. Who's this? Scouting Discovery. Oh, didn't even know who he is. And these are our super raw prospects here. All right. Okay, so let's talk about our opening day lineup here. It looks like we're not playing opening day, but we are starting against our geographic rivals. Looks like we're going to start at home against the Victoria Royals. So we'll just move ahead a day here. Stats. There we go. They're starting Jack Patterson again. I hate how we haven't. Oh, Casanova's getting the start. Come on. Casanova's getting the start. What are we even doing here? There we go. We got to see him throw. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about your 2008 Vancouver Mounties. Again, this is going to be a pretty similar season, I think, to 2007. It's an absolute arms race in the Rocky Mountain Division. Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, just vying for 3 of the 4 spots in the playoffs. I think everyone else is, who knows? Yeah, the other 3 teams in our division are going to really struggle. Okay, so we're starting with our starting center fielder. It is George Bulger, who is just coming off a juicy extension. We signed him through the next, well, many, many years, 7 years. It looked like, I was talking last season, George is not coming back. But we got to see the absolute cannon this guy has, and he literally brought us to the next round almost single-handedly, making a couple amazing, amazing plays. I think it was in the first round, second round, I can't remember. A little worried about him being fragile, so we are taking a bit of a risk. He hasn't played a full season in 2 years. He's missed a lot of games. But at 60-60 overall, something I'm happy with. So hopefully he can stay healthy. That'll be the story that we're watching for Bulger this year. Manny Munoz, second baseman. So Manny's been just kind of handed the role of second baseman. He's been okay. He's been maybe the most average of all average second basemen. He's average. He doesn't have too much going for him. I'm not seeing too much in an overall or potential bump, but as long as he stays solid, we're happy with him for now. He goes to arbitration this year, so we can decide what we want to do with him from there. Pete Halfyard, we'll see if he can shake off the cobwebs, as he did not play at all in 2006 or 2007. He is actually an 80-80 overall, which I'm actually surprised to see. So we have a couple 80-80 guys. So we're seeing if these 2 years off paid off. Let's just see. How was he in spring training? He was pretty good in spring training, so that is good to see. It is going to be a dynamite duo here, as we got Fred Mills batting in the number 4 spot. Another 80-80 player. He's still got he's got an opt-out at the end of the season, and most likely he will be opting out. So we're going to have to sign him to a big deal, or this will be the last year of Fred Mills. So we're going to have to decide this season if we want to keep Fred Mills or not. I mean, he just walks and walks and walks and gets on base. I mean, OBP of 480. I mean, that's insane. So we'll see what Fred Mills can do. Doug Reeder has now moved to the DH role. I've been pretty happy with Doug so far. He's been definitely playing above average lately, or his last 2 years, on the 20 home run, 80 RBI mark. So, going to arbitration next year. He's young, only 25. So, a guy I would still like to see in our lineup, but would be open to potential trades if Doug Reeder's name came up. Mike Pottle is back in right field for the 4th straight year. He has been an above average right fielder now for the last 3 years. He's been good. Has he been spectacular? No, but he's been very good. I'm hoping to see a really strong season out of Mike for sure. The other Mike in left field is Mike Cross, who is in his 3rd year as a Mountie. Had a very good year last year. Well, a decent year last year. He's an average left fielder. He's got the nice, he did win the Great Glove Award at left field 2 years ago. But, yeah, he's got that speed, which we like. Peyton Laviolette, his first year with us as catcher was last year. I was pretty happy how he played on the defensive side of things, as he did win the Great Glove last year at catcher. So we have signed him. He's signed for another 4 years. So we've got Peyton for a while. And batting ninth, we've got Pablo Vasquez. He's our really only, well, not our only, he's one of our new players, as we kind of did a 1-for-1 swap with Edmonton. So we're going to see how McPherson plays in Edmonton versus Velasquez here. We're taking a bit of a gamble here, I think, on this move. But free agent at the end of the year, so we may go shopping for a new shortstop if we don't like Pablo. Defensively, he looks very good. He has a noodle bat, so we're not going to be expecting too much out of him at batting-wise, but we'll see what we can get with him with the glove. So that's our starting lineup. We got Ford Keats, Pete Lee. Troy Murray is now moved into a more of a support role, as he played a lot of games for us in the last 2 years. So he's probably not going to be too happy. As you can see, he's not happy with the move down. Maybe used as potential trade bait. In fact, he will be, as we're going to throw him on the block as well. Not sure what we'll get for him. And then, a few familiar names that have popped up and played a few games for us will be sitting on the bench. Let's talk pitching. And obviously, our huge acquisition was Ivan Casanova. Did we pay a little too much for him? We might have, but you know what? Ivan is an absolute stud. His numbers weren't spectacular last year, but in 2006 they were amazing. So we're gonna see what Mr. Casanova can do for us. But I'm excited to see, as he's hopefully going to be our franchise pitcher for many years to come at only 27 years of age. Jack Patterson has earned himself the number 2 slot after a really strong season. He won the ERA title. He won Pitcher of the Year last year in a bit of a surprise. He surprised everybody, I think. He was outstanding. Not so good in the playoffs, but he was outstanding in the regular season. Bruno Henry is again starting to show his age, as he's been our ace for the last 2 years. He is going to slot down into the number 3 slot. He's still got it, though. He was amazing in the playoffs last year. Not so good in the regular season, but we'll see how Bruno does as he's starting to wind down his career. We still have him for another 2 years. I don't really have any intention of potentially trading him. Maybe next year we might move him at the deadline, but you never know. You never know. There's going to be a lot more movement this year now that teams have more money. Willie Sanchez has dropped down to the number 4 role now, as we've definitely gotten better on the starting pitching side of things. Again, he's around for another couple years. He's a pretty solid pitcher. He's got all this good personality stuff we like too. He didn't have a great season last year. And then we got Tomochika Kasiyashi again in his 4th year with us. He's been a great number 5 guy for us for the last 4 years. Stayed healthy, and he's we signed him to another few years, so he's pretty solid. He may move into more of a bullpen role, but again, see what happens. Like I say, we'll see what happens a lot, because we will. All right, the bullpen. Couple changes. Well, not really here. Ron Lyons will stay as our closer. He was okay. Like, he doesn't have ace closer numbers, but he's all right for now. Free agent at the end of the year, we'll think about re-signing him, but I'm leaning towards no. Maybe might make a move for him. There were a few trade offers made for Lyons, but we will throw him on the block. Trevor Pinkson, he was our pickup at the free agency. We did sign him to a pretty big deal for a reliever. $3.6 million is a bit to pay out for him. But he played for the rival Bone Pilers, so he's going to be playing a lot of games against him. And he's going to want revenge. Jim Cadno is back after a, I would say, rocky season, at least at the start. But, he picked it up near the end. Free agent next year. We got him locked up for another 2 years. Matsumoto struggled last year after being kicked off closing duties. However, if Lyons struggles, I have no issue bringing Matsumoto back to close. Robert is back for year number 2. He's played for these big 3 teams, but he's finally got a little bit of stability here in Vancouver. He was good last year. Enrique Martinez, another newer guy that we just signed in free agency. A couple years with middling Toronto, so he'll be happy to move to a contender. And Jeff Burho is back. He's been a solid long reliever guy, so that is our squad. So next episode, we will head into Game 1 of the 2008 season, where your Vancouver Mounties will be taking on the Victoria Royals to kick off the 2008 season. See you next time.